In the complex world of power, some say you must either play the game or get left behind. The most successful among us seem to possess an uncanny ability to influence others, control events, and rise to the top, even in the most ruthless environments. But how do they do it? What hidden truths can we uncover about the nature of power? The answer may lie in the teachings of a man who was not only a student of politics and power, but also a seasoned observer of human nature, a man whose name still sparks controversy: Niccolò Machiavelli. In today's video, we're going to unravel the dark truths of power as outlined by Machiavelli, and explore his advice for good people seeking influence in a world that often seems morally ambiguous. Machiavelli's wisdom offers a potent blend of harsh realism and strategic genius. His lessons may not fit the ideal of traditional morality, but they provide invaluable insights into how the world of influence truly works. Welcome to the Dark Truths of Power, Machiavelli's advice for good people seeking influence. Let's explore the art of power through the eyes of one of the most misunderstood thinkers of all time. Chapter 1. Who was Machiavelli? To understand Machiavelli's ideas on power, we must first understand the man himself. Born in 1469 in Florence, Italy, Machiavelli's life was marked by the intense political turbulence of the Renaissance. His homeland, Italy, was not yet the unified country we know today. It was a collection of city-states, each with its own rulers and competing interests. Machiavelli worked as a diplomat for the Republic of Florence, navigating the intricacies of foreign affairs, espionage, and political alliances. He saw firsthand how power was gained and lost, often through backstabbing, betrayal, and ruthless decision-making. He understood that survival in such a world required more than mere virtue. It required shrewdness, cunning, and the ability to manipulate circumstances. But Machiavelli's life wasn't just about watching others play the game of power. He was actively involved in the political struggles of his time, serving in various governmental roles. His rise to prominence came with the Medici family's rule in Florence, but when the Medici were overthrown in 1512, Machiavelli was exiled, accused of conspiracy. It was during this time of exile that he began to write his most famous work, The Prince. In this treatise, Machiavelli distills his observations into a pragmatic guide on how to obtain and maintain power, focusing on the ruthless realities of politics, war, and leadership. Though often criticized for its perceived cynicism, The Prince offers timeless insights into the mechanics of power. Machiavelli wasn't simply a manipulator, he was a realist. He was deeply invested in the stability of his country, and his works aimed at providing practical advice for rulers who wanted to avoid the pitfalls of power. Chapter 2. The Nature of Power. Machiavelli's concept of power is often misunderstood. Power, to him, was not a mere title or an official position. It wasn't about wearing a crown or sitting at the head of the table. No, power is the ability to shape reality, influence people's thoughts, actions, and decisions, and control the environment around you. In modern terms, power is everywhere. It's in the hands of CEOs who direct the flow of billions of dollars in corporate decisions. It's in the influencers who control what millions of people wear, eat, or think about. It's in politicians who craft policies and dictate the direction of nations. Even in our personal lives, we encounter power dynamics. Who gets to speak, who gets to lead, and who gets to follow? Power is a constant undercurrent in every interaction. Machiavelli was keenly aware of the different forms of power that shape the world. Political power, economic power, social influence, and even psychological power are all interconnected. His central argument is that power is not just a passive gift, but something that must be actively pursued, shaped, and maintained. In the modern world, think of a tech mogul like Elon Musk or a political leader like Vladimir Putin. They don't just rise to power by coincidence. They understand the intricacies of manipulation, persuasion, and strategic positioning. Power, Machiavelli would argue, is not something you're born with. It's something you craft, adapt, and wield. Machiavelli would suggest that good people seeking power must understand that power is not inherently good or evil. It is neutral. It depends on how it's used. As we explore Machiavelli's ideas further, we'll see how good people can navigate the murky waters of power without compromising their integrity. Chapter 3: Virtue and Fortuna, the forces of power. In Machiavelli's view, two key concepts dominate the pursuit of power: virtue and fortuna. These concepts are the keys to success and explain why some rise to power while others fall. Virtue is the personal skill and ability to shape one's fate. It's about the wisdom to make bold decisions, the courage to take risks, and the adaptability to change course when necessary. For Machiavelli, a successful leader needs to cultivate virtue, a set of qualities that include strength, decisiveness, and shrewdness. These qualities allow a person to rise above chaos, to harness opportunities when they arise, and to take action when others hesitate. On the other hand, fortuna refers to luck, fate, or the randomness of the world. Machiavelli believed that while virtue could shape one's destiny, there's always an element of luck at play. A person's rise to power may be influenced by fortune, such as the timing of an opportunity or a random event that tilts the balance in their favor. But ultimately, it's virtue, the leader's ability to respond to and shape those circumstances, that determines their success. In a modern context, think of someone like Elon Musk. His success isn't just because of his innovation or intelligence. It's because of his ability to spot opportunities, make bold moves, and adapt to new challenges. His companies didn't thrive by mere chance. They succeeded because Musk understood the forces at play and shaped his actions accordingly. Fortuna may present the opportunity, but virtue is what ensures that opportunity is seized. Chapter 4: Virtue versus Morality, the Pragmatic Machiavellian. For Machiavelli, morality and power were often in conflict. While traditional moral philosophy teaches that leaders should act with kindness, humility, and fairness, Machiavelli argues that these ideas may not always serve those seeking power. Instead, Machiavelli believed that a ruler should focus on what works, not what is good, in the traditional sense. His famous assertion that the ends justify the means is often misunderstood. What Machiavelli truly meant was that a leader must be willing to do whatever is necessary, be it cruelty, manipulation, or deception, to secure their position and the stability of the state. This is a harsh truth for many people to accept. We often think of leadership in terms of moral rectitude, being virtuous, ethical, and just. But Machiavelli understood that in the real world, the challenges of power demand a more flexible approach. The leader who cannot adapt to the harsh realities of power, who is too rigid in their moral values, will struggle to survive. This doesn't mean Machiavelli advocated for unchecked cruelty. Rather, he believed that good rulers must always be able to navigate between acting mercifully when it serves their interests and ruthlessly when the situation demands it. Chapter 5: Fear versus Love, the Right Balance. One of the most famous principles Machiavelli put forth is the idea that a ruler should aim to be feared rather than loved. But this doesn't mean that a ruler should be universally despised. Machiavelli was clear that hatred should always be avoided. So what exactly does he mean by this? Machiavelli believed that fear is a more reliable tool for maintaining power than love. People are fickle, and their affections can change based on circumstances. Fear, on the other hand, creates respect. When people fear you, they are less likely to rebel or challenge your authority. This was a tactic employed by many successful rulers throughout history, from ancient emperors to modern-day dictators. However, Machiavelli also understood that fear, if mishandled, can backfire. Excessive cruelty can breed hatred, and hatred can lead to rebellion. A leader must therefore strike a delicate balance, instilling fear without crossing the line into tyranny. In short, fear should be wielded as a tool for stability, but it must be carefully managed. Chapter 6: Ruthlessness and Mercy, knowing when to be hard and when to be soft. Machiavelli's advice on ruthlessness and mercy is perhaps one of his most practical and important lessons for those seeking power. As a ruler, you must know when to show mercy and when to be ruthless. Showing mercy can win you the loyalty of people, but being too merciful can also create weakness, that others may exploit. On the other hand, ruthlessness can ensure that your rule is unchallenged, but excessive cruelty may spark revolt. The key is knowing when each approach is appropriate. Consider the strategic use of mercy in warfare. After a victory, offering clemency to your defeated enemies can secure their loyalty in the long run. It builds goodwill and eliminates the possibility of future conflict. On the flip side, being overly lenient with your enemies can invite future challenges. Chapter 7. Applying Machiavelli's wisdom to your own life. So, how do we apply Machiavelli's lessons on power to our own lives? Whether in business, personal relationships, or leadership, his ideas offer valuable tools for anyone seeking to navigate the complex dynamics of influence. Recognize the value of perception. People are influenced by what they can see and hear. Craft your image wisely and maintain control over how others perceive you. Embrace adaptability and decisiveness. Opportunities come quickly, but they don't last long. Be ready to adapt and take decisive action when they arise. Use fear and love strategically. Balance the use of fear and affection to maintain loyalty and control. Know when to be ruthless and when to be merciful. Ruthlessness ensures your dominance, but mercy can win you long-term loyalty. Act with virtue in the face of Fortuna. Prepare for opportunities and challenges by developing the qualities that allow you to act decisively in the face of uncertainty. Machiavelli's teachings may seem harsh, but they are grounded in a deep understanding of human nature and the realities of power. If you're seeking influence, don't shy away from these dark truths. Learn to wield power strategically, understanding when to show mercy, when to be ruthless, and always knowing that it's your virtue, your ability to act decisively, that will shape your destiny. Power is not about being good or evil, it's about mastering the art of influence. Thank you for watching. If you found this video valuable, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Remember, to master your power, you must first understand its nature.